Hey Josh, when did y'all decide during the week to draw up a touchdown play on the first play of the game?
Uh, Man, I say Tuesday. Tuesday during practice.
Did it shock you though that you would get that free and take it the distance the very first play?
Honestly, not really. I know what I bring to the table. I kind of figured, I haven't played for a year and a half. Saturday was my first game back, and just me being who I am, the competitor that I am, I knew I would make a big break, at some point in the game. It did surprise me that it was the first play of the game,
Hmm.
but I knew, like I said, I was going to have some success during the game.
And lastly, what did that do for your confidence level?
Man, it went through the roof, honestly. It went through the roof. I just, I thank God for the opportunity to come out, and play and show that I have that, the ability to do that. But it did boost my confidence.
Thank you.
Chip, go ahead.
Josh, if you can just take us through the year and a half away from football, what you learned from that experience and how it's made you a different person. That'd be great.
Yes, sir. Um, Man, that year and a half was a long, long, long year and a half, being away from doing, what I love, which is playing football. Um, to be honest, man, every game that I did not play in last year, I cried because just me being who I am. I love football. Grew up around football. Becoming here was my dream, and just to know that I almost threw that away, it hurt me. So I was disappointed in myself at first, but I also learned that I'm a strong individual. I learned that I have an awesome support system. I learned that some of my friends weren't really my friends. I took a lot away from me. I'm thankful it happened, um, and I'm glad to be back, man.
Justin, you had a question?
Yes, sir. Hey, Josh, Justin Wells here. Good to see you again, man. It's been a year and a half since you got to play. What were and you had such a tremendous coming out party on Saturday. What were the emotions that you were feeling after the game? Getting to talk to your mom, talk to your brother, talk to your family. What were the emotions and all that built up after such a strong performance coming back?
I couldn't wait to get out there and see him after the game. My dad, you may not believe me when I say this, but whenever I scored, my mom, my sister were sitting in the stands, and they actually left the game to go to the restroom, and they cried. I talked to my dad after the game. He told me once I scored, he cried. It was such a surreal feeling, because like I said, I've been out for a year and a half. Coming back, doing this, it felt great. But just to see the smile on their faces, I would definitely rather see a smile on their faces than the faces that they had whenever last year. So I'm blessed and I'm thankful.
Anwar, go ahead.
Josh, it would have been really easy for a guy like Coach Herman to give up on you and not allow you back in the program. Would have been easy for him to do the same thing with DeMarvion, Overshawn, or maybe even some of the guys went in the transfer portal. What does it mean to you guys when you guys may make some mistakes, but you have a coach who still kind of believes in you and still gives you guys, second and third chances?
I've known Coach Herman for a long time. I would probably say, my sophomore year of high school, when he first started recruiting me at U of H, we built a relationship these past 3-4 years that, I can honestly say I never built with any other head coach in college football. So that's probably why I'm here now. But I respect him as a man. I respect him for, like you said, he could have dismissed me from the team at any point. But, the conversation we had, I won't really go into detail with that, but I knew that he cared for me as not a player, but as a student, as a human being as well. That the whole time I wasn't playing, I would shake his hand as many times as I could just to, like I said, I wasn't playing, but I was still here. And I was thankful for that. I'm thankful that he didn't dismiss me. I got what I deserved, me being, it is what it is, honestly, but I've learned from the situation. Like I said, I got what I deserved. That was my punishment. I did my punishment, and now I'm back.
Jake, you're up.
Josh, can you take us through the work that you and Sam put in this offseason to kind of rekindle that chemistry? And were you surprised that it was so successful and so apparent in the first game of the season?
Every day me and Sam, we would communicate. We knew we had a new offensive coordinator coming in, so we would definitely have to be on the same page with new plays, new system, period. With the whole COVID situation, it was kind of hard to meet up and, throw routes, work out together at first. But, once everybody got back into Austin, the team got back into Austin, we had every Tuesday, almost every day of the week, we would get together, have all the receivers, and we just throw routes to each other, just, building the chemistry that we need to be successful this year. I'm thankful we did that. Sam is another person that I respect, not just for what he does on the field, but as a person. He's a hard worker. I admire how close he is with God, honestly. He's just, every time we talk, he tries to put something positive in my ear, and I respect that about him. And, I look at Sam as a brother. I'm looking forward to the success we have this year. And to the second part of that question, I wouldn't say, it was surprising to have it that much success in the game because, like I said, Sam's a hard worker. To have anybody back there behind the center like him, any receiver would want that. So I'm thankful for Sam as well. And, I'm just looking forward to getting this season going.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Josh, I'm curious. You mentioned that while you were going through everything last year, you did have a really strong support system, and you kind of learned, some people who were your friends and sort of people to cut out of your circle. You talked obviously about your respect for, Coach Herman. I'm just curious, once the suspension happened and your teammates learned about it, what were your conversations like with them? I guess, how did they react? Were guys, quick to get your back? And, just curious, what's that like, trying to explain to guys what happened and how was that reaction? And, did that bring you closer together, just trying to work through this process with them?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely, I want to send a huge shout out to the receivers in the room that I had. Thank you. That was with me last year. Colin Johnson he played a big part in, keeping me positive. He's another guy that just comes in and works hard. I admire who he is as a person. It's no surprise to me that he's having the success that he's having at the next level. Devin Duvernay is another one. Avante Woodard, Brennan Eagles, those guys are in my high school, class, Brennan and Avante. So it was good to see that, I wasn't in this by myself. I not only had a support system from my family, but also from the guys on the team. And that, honestly, that made me realize a lot. Like I said, I'm thankful for him, and I'm just glad I'm here battling with him once again.
Dennis, go ahead.
Hey, you mentioned Colin and Devin. That was the big topic. Who's going to step up to fill their shoes? And it seems like every receiver had a touchdown the other night. Are you surprised at all of how talented this group showed out against UTEP?
Man, not at all. Not at all. Honestly, ever since last summer when we first started, when everybody came back from COVID, we first started working back out, lifting and running. It surprised me at how much talent we had on this team. Honestly, in the receiver room, we had guys that aren't on scholarship out there making plays. That warms my heart, just knowing that everybody can contribute, everybody can bring something to the table. And I think that's going to help us a lot this year. I think it will.
Hey, Marcus, you're up.
Yeah, Josh, you talked a lot about what you learned off the field during this last year for you. What did you learn specifically from those older guys, Colin and Devin, about how to play the position, but also just about how to work right?
Colin and Devin both are guys that, they don't really talk much. They just, from what I noticed, they rarely say anything at all, any complaining. And nothing like, I've never heard those two guys complain at all. They just came in and did what they were supposed to do. And I respect that, because I'm not much of a talker myself. And me being a young guy, having guys like Colin and Devin leading the way, it definitely made me want to step my game up. The success they had last year was amazing. But like I said, it's no surprise that they're having the success they're having now because they're wonderful people. They work hard. I definitely learned a lot about them. You know, like I said, they motivate me to step my game up, and I'm happy for what they're doing now.
Danny, you're up.
Hey, Josh, you switched numbers this year. Was that a fresh start kind of thing, or am I reading too much into that, or why did you switch up numbers this year?
It was just kind of, you know, I just wanted a different number, honestly. I'm more of a single-digit type of guy anyway, so, you know, me and Coach Herman had the conversation in the summertime. He was like, if you handle your business, you do what you're supposed to do, you know, you would get rewarded. So I guess, you know, I did that and was able to get him a 6.
Mike, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about Andre Coleman, new to the staff. He was around last year. Obviously, he got some time to spend with you. What has he meant to that wide receivers room? Because you said there's a ton of talent that is in there, but what does Andre bring to the table that's different from any other coach?
Man, just tools, honestly. You know, he played for a good amount of time in the league. He has 6 or 7 guys in the league now. I mean, he knows everything about the receiver position. He's taught me so much just in this short, you know, amount of time that I've definitely took my game to the next level. And like I said, we got guys that aren't even on scholarship making plays. And I honestly give, you know, Coach Coleman has came in and earned my respect from day one. You know, just the intensity level that he brings, the way, you know, he goes about his business is what I like about him so much. You know, he's a businessman, but at the same time, he knows, you know, when and where to do things. You know, when I say that, I mean to say like he's a businessman, but he also knows he cares for you as a person as well. Like he talks to my mom on a daily basis. You know, they don't even talk about football. We talk about life. And, you know, I like that about him. I respect him as well. I feel like everybody else in the receiver room does this too, on the team as well. He's a great guy, great coach. And I hope I hope that he's here until I graduate.
Kirk, you're up.
Yeah, Josh, you were really moving on your touchdown. Who's the fastest player on the team, and like who would be second?
I'm the fastest on the team. I would give it to I'd say Jake Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. We got a lot of guys on the team that can run.
Are you a 4.3 guy?
4.3, you said?
Yeah. What are you?
I believe 4.4.
4.4. And to clarify one thing, did you know Tuesday's practice that was going to be the first play of the game?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah, we go over the first 4 or 5 opening plays every Friday. So I knew it was coming. Just had to be ready for it. That's it.
Thanks, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Chip, you have a question?
Yeah, Josh, what you know, what do you like about the offense under Mike Yursich? And you know, he brought in some new route concepts and that kind of thing. What do you like about this offense? How is it receiver friendly?
Man, as you can tell, Saturday, man, we chunked the ball deep. I consider myself a deep threat guy anyway. I respect Coach Yursich because he gives everybody a chance, an opportunity to make plays. He doesn't just have the offense based around, you know, one single position. He has it to where everybody can have success, and that's what I like most about it. I think we went out there and we proved that on Saturday, having 6 or 7 different receivers, you know, score a touchdown. So I think that's what I like most about it. It's just how, you know, much we throw the ball. Me being a receiver, of course, but also, you know, the running backs, you know, they have opportunities to make plays as well. So like I said, everybody has a chance to make plays, and yeah, that's what I like most about it.
Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, you kind of hit on this earlier a little bit, but, you know, everything you've been through, you know, now when you look at just the opportunities you have every day, not just to play in a game, but to go to practice and not be on the practice squad, and then, you know, coming up to Tech game to be back on the travel squad, do kind of those little things, do they mean a little bit more than maybe they did to you before?
Man, more than ever. Like I said earlier, man, I almost threw this away. You know, just being here, sitting in front of you guys right now was a blessing to me because, Coach Herman had the decision to, throw me off the team, but he didn't. He believed in me. Like I said, I learned a lot going through what I went through last year. But I learned, most importantly, not to take this stuff for granted. Not to take it for granted. Before, this situation, the situation I went through it was hard, to be honest. But like I said, I'm just a competitor, man. I love football, and not being able to play a year and a half, that's a long time, especially with somebody that loves football as much as I do. So, I'm thankful, for sure.
Time for one last one. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Josh, talking about, Coach, you said you've known him for a long time. Was that through recruiting too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe how y'all's relationship has changed over the last 2+ years and what all's happened?
I would say the situation we went through last year, that I went through last year, and just seeing, the care that he had for me really brought us closer.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, he showed me that he not only cared for me as a player, but also as a human being. And in life, man, that's one of the hardest things to even try to wrap your mind around. Does this person really, care for me like you say he does, or is he just saying it? Because Herman actually showed me that. So my respect for him has went through the roof, It's always been that way, though. He's always been a guy I respected just because, how he handles himself, how he carries himself. But we've definitely gotten closer, and, I definitely don't regret coming here. I definitely don't regret the day that he started recruiting me. I thank him for the opportunity, and just to be here with him, being coached by him every day, it means a lot, So I'm thankful for Coach Herman as well.